Alright, I know it's not October yet, but I think it's finally time I talk about what I believe is one of the most slept on arcs in the 2012 series. And that is the 4-part monster arc that takes place during the 5th season of the show. Now, I've always liked this arc, but I see a lot of TMNT fans saying this is the worst span of episodes during the 5th season. But I completely disagree. So much wild stuff happens during this arc that doesn't get talked about enough. So today I'm here to do it justice. So let's take a look at TMNT 2012's Monsters and Mutants. Before I start, I just want to say, I'm shocked this was this series' only holiday episode. I mean, the 2003 show had a Halloween and Christmas episode, and the 87 series had many holiday episodes as well. So it's shocking that the 2012 show only had this one. Now, mind you, it is technically 4 episodes, but still, I'm just surprised they never even did a Valentine's Day episode to focus on April and Donnie. Ugh, I can see it now. Donnie and Casey fighting to be April's Valentine. Wait, why does that actually sound kinda interesting? But I'm getting off track. Let's dive into this episode, shall we? The arc begins on Halloween night. April and Casey are getting ready to meet with the turtles, but out of nowhere, werewolves begin to appear and a little girl bites Casey with vampire-looking teeth. Meanwhile, the turtles are getting ready to trick-or-treat when they get an emergency call from April who tells them that Casey has become a vampire. The turtles come and finally rescue her, but April also falls victim to another vampire and becomes one of her own. Her and all the other monsters such as Frankenstein's monster and werewolves are about to take out the turtles as well. But then, their friend Renette comes out of a portal and levitates the turtles to a nearby roof. She informs the turtles that the spree of monsters was caused by her old enemy, Savanti Romero. Because while Renette was checking on them, he stole her emergency time travel device and returned to the future. And along the way, he created a full army of monsters to destroy Earth. But Renette tells the turtles that she needs their help to go back in time and stop Savanti from recruiting all the monsters. Their first stop is ancient Egypt, and after getting through a tomb full of obstacles, they reach the pharaoh's tomb. But by entering, they awaken the pharaoh, and Savanti shows up just in time to convince him to join him and take out the turtles. The turtles and Renette end up losing, and Savanti and his new adversary leave. Renette feels bad because it's all her fault, but the turtles are able to give her more confidence, and Renette warns them that the time scepter is low, but they'll have to follow Savanti to his next stop. In the next episode, we find out that Savanti's next stop was medieval Transylvania. Renette gives the turtles human clothes to fit in more, but shortly after the transformation, the turtles run into some werewolves. Raphael gets separated from his brothers in the woods and runs into Dracula. When the others find him, he's strangely super dizzy, and after they meet 2 humans named Volko and his daughter Esmeralda, who take the turtles to Dracula's castle, Esmeralda realizes that Raph has been bitten by Dracula. She tells the turtles that he won't fully become a vampire until he bites his first victim. He tries to make this Michelangelo, but he gets put back to sleep by Garlic. But to be completely back to normal, whoever bit him must be destroyed. During this time, Savanti and his mummy reach Dracula's castle, and Savanti forces him to join. Then the turtles arrive at Dracula's castle, but get attacked by a headless horseman. Volko gets snatched by wolves, and later on, while the turtles are close to the entrance of Dracula's castle, another werewolf comes down out of nowhere, but we learn this is actually Volko. Mikey uses his quick thinking and throws a silver coin down his throat, which causes him to turn back to normal. Dracula finally appears and tries to bite Esmeralda. Leo shoots a stake towards him, but he gets stopped by Raph, who is fully under Drac's control. A battle ensues between the turtles and the monsters, with the turtles once again failing. And as a side note, Volko gets turned back into a werewolf and joins Savanti. Renette and the turtles decide they have no choice but to use their last chance of the scepter's power to save their friends. So they arrive in Germany in the year 1818 at Frankenstein's castle, but it completely fries the power in Renette's time scepter. Savanti and his crew are there to access Dr. Frankenstein's experiment, and Dracula uses his hypnosis to help the doctor finish his work. Later on, the turtles reach the castle and Donnie helps with the experiment as well. Once nightfall reaches and the storm begins, they send the creature to be hit by lightning to come alive. It works, and Frankenstein's monster is born. But the doctor is disgusted by his appearance and insults him. Mikey tries to calm the monster down and gives him the name Frank for short. But, just as he's making progress, Savanti and Dracula appear, and Drac uses a spell on the doctor to turn his monster against the turtles. But Donnie snaps him out of it, and the doctor tries to turn Frank against Savanti. But a fire gets started and Frank gets scared and runs away. Then a giant fight breaks out between the turtles and the monsters. Donnie is able to capture Raph, and Renette is able to recharge the scepter. But sadly, Frank falls off the building and is presumed dead. But later on, Savanti and his crew come along and get him to join the team. So they create the last portal and head to the 21st century. The Turtles and Renette arrive back in New York as well. Also, Raph is chained up with them and continuously threatens and taunts his brothers, especially Mikey. The Turtles reach the sewers again after having to run through a street full of werewolves and goblins, and while they're in the sewers, Raph is able to hypnotize Mikey to untie his chains. Then he sneaks into Donnie's lab and grabs the time scepter. Meanwhile, Savanti fears that Renette and the Turtles will ruin their plan, but Dracula calls in April and Casey to track down the Turtles. Once them and Frank reach the Turtles' lair, a battle ensues between the two sides. During all the chaos, Donnie gets bitten by April, but the Turtles flee to an old underground hospital. Donnie's condition starts getting worse, and eventually he fully turns into a vampire and tries to attack his brothers, but Renette and the Turtles escape. And while that's happening, tensions begin to rise between Savanti and Dracula, who goes against Savanti's plans when given the time scepter by Raph, but only Savanti will be able to use it, so they are forced to work together. And eventually they corner Renette and the two remaining Turtles. Savanti gives his evil villain monologue, and Mikey drops this line I always love to quote.
And you will not be able to stop us. Why, you ask?
We didn't ask. No one asked.
But Mikey is also able to use his genius and kindness to get Frank back on their side. And after a long battle between different time periods, Mikey is able to stick Dracula between the heart, which kills him and in the process turns his brothers back to normal. Renette is also able to get the time scepter back and keeps Savanti in the prehistoric times. April and Casey also return to normal and the city is saved. The Turtles say their goodbyes to Renette and Mikey even gets a kiss on the cheek from her. And then the Turtles decide to celebrate their victory with a little trick-or-treating. And that was TMNT 2012's Monsters and Mutants arc. And like I said, it's just such a fun watch. Seeing the Turtles go against famous movie monsters is a super cool idea. And so much crazy stuff happens. I mean, Raph and Donnie literally get turned into vampires. It's also a great showing for Mikey, which I appreciate because he's my favorite turtle. He shows his genius so many times over the span of episodes, and without him, the Turtles would have most definitely failed. I do feel like it didn't need to be 4 parts though. That third episode does kind of drag a bit, but other than that, I quite enjoy this story and I think it should be talked about more. It's a fun watch, and if you're bored on Halloween, I think you should check it out. But that's all from me today, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this arc. And don't forget, if you're new here or just like TMNT videos like this one, make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, have a great day. Peace.